I'm gonna be reacting to NB Ocean Liner.
Hey, Metis, get this in slow-mo.
So,
Money.
Looking for tax help? Now there are TurboTax experts right in your neighborhood.
I'm gonna be reacting to what boats are still left today. The Queen Mary 2, yeah, that's. I mean, of course. Large QM2 is the only ocean liner that's still in service in the world. She is also the largest ocean liner ever built. The RMS Queen Mary, 1936. The RMS Queen Mary was once the largest and fastest ocean liner in the world. She survived World War II and even hit by a 90-foot rogue wave. The ship eventually retired in 1967. That's pretty cool. She is now preserved as a museum hotel in Long Beach, California. SS United States, but it's not going to be around anymore today. Well, probably now it's not. SS United States renamed Tesla as the fastest ocean liner ever. After retiring in 1969, she went through several owners. She was bought by the SSUSC in 2011 and is now laid up in Philadelphia. Rotterdam is still around. I did not know that. Rotterdam was the last great Dutch ship of state. She has been preserved as a hotel ship in Rotterdam since 2010. SS Great Britain, 1845. Oh my goodness! SS Great Britain was the largest and fastest liner of modern completion. She's also the oldest ocean liner that still exists today. Oh my! She has been preserved as a museum in the RMS Queen Elizabeth II, 1969. The large Kiwi 2 had carried 2.5 million passengers in her 39 years of service. She has been preserved as a museum and hotel ship in Dubai since 2014. MS Stockholm, 1929. MS Stockholm is the most famous Maria, 1956. She went through 10 name changes and is currently named NB Astoria. Today the ship remains laid up in Rotterdam, Netherlands. Hockey won Norway from 1930. He helped hundreds of Jewish flee from the Nazi parade. Nicknamed the Queen of the Pacific, the ship is preserved in the Nazi Yokohama as a museum. And Funchal, one of my favorite boats, probably one of my favorite boats. Why have we gotten two boats that we've seen from Porto laid up in Portugal or whatever? SS She held the record of being the world's largest active ocean liner. Today she is named MV Dublin. Has been preserved as a hotel. Louisville, 1962. Built as a French ocean liner, she was renamed Since 2013, she has been preserved as a hotel ship in Shenzhen, China. MV Montana, 1931. She was renamed MV Lida and then beached in tourist attraction in Le Brers, France. MV Yahuwah, 1967. She was the first built ship people of the Republic of China. 1987, she purchased a Orange Princess. She made it into a foreign tourist attraction. After 2010, not much is known about the vessel. Brazil Maru, 1954, that's a thing. Brazil Maru serves on the route of the Japanese immigration route to South America. Today, the vessel is used as a restaurant in Zhejiang, China. And a Savannah. Well, that's what boat I use for my model, the White Beauty. That's what boat I use. The MS Savannah was the first nuclear-powered merchant ship. Nuclear power! Today she's preserved as a museum ship in Baltimore, Maryland. About 500 ocean liners ever built. Only 15 remain intact today. Thank you for watching. Okay, guys. And by the way, guys, you should probably subscribe to him. I also will be reacting to this
Whoa.
video.
What's that?
Also.
I just built a budgeting app in Base 44.
Guys,
The old Mauritania is being broken up in resigned naval dockyards. So look your last at this world-famous ship. Here's the fastest Atlantic liner, now a rapidly disintegrating hull. Here's all that's left of the decks, which so many thousands of passengers have faced. And now the foremast is brought low, crashing down on the ruined decks. This is the end of the Mauritania, one of the finest ships that ever sailed the seas.
Dang, bro, that part looks disgusting. No offense, but like...
This is the end of the Mauritania.
What is that picture?
One of the finest ships that ever sailed the seas.
SS Moon Madonna. Ocean liner 1935, 1936, 1936 through 1942. Blue Ribbon Holder 1935 through 1938. And by the way, that was the first boat I made a video on in Tiny Sailor's World. Did you know that? Next was the Artemis Mountain. This one I made after that.
Like the nation that gave her birth, the Normandy was gone. She was lost in the darkness of bitter ill luck and tragic error.
In 1946 through 1948. Almost so like 1911 through 1945.
carrying thousands of troops in safety. They called her the Old Reliable. Now her days are done, and away she goes, reliable to the last.
After 24 years service as a luxury liner, the Olympic makes her last voyage. And now she goes for her final demolition
The
at
color
Dover Quay.
footage is crazy. RMS Companion. Hey, that's the boat that I use for the RMS Red in Tiny Sailor's World. Yeah, also, whatever. I'm such a yapper. Larger ship in 1933 through 1937. We sunk it in a collision with the HMS Glorious in 1918. RMS Majestic 1922 through 1935. Larger ship 1922 through 1935. Caught fire and sank in 1939. Scrapped in 1943 and 1944. Dang, that boat was probably one of my favorites. SS Rex 1932 through 1934. Blue Ribbon Holder fate bombed by Allied bomber in 1944. Scrapped in 1950. That seems kind of sad. RMS Aquitania 1942 through 1950. only express line to serve in both world wars. Freight scrapped in 1950 through 1952. That's so sad. SS Atlantic 1871 through 1873. Sank in 1873, running into rocks in lower prospective Nova Scotland. That's like the Titanic before the Titanic ever sailed. 535 people lost their lives. SS Catholic, 1927 through 1945. Bombed by the RAF in 1945 with over 5,000 convoy tracing camp inmates and civilians. About 5,000 prisoners lost their lives, so like barely anyone survived. Oh my gosh, it's really crazy. RMS Lusitania, 1907 through 1915. It sunk. Blue Ribbon holders through 1907 and 1912. Largest ship in 1907. Torpedoed and sunk by U-20 and in 1915 with about 1,198 people lost their lives. RMS Lancashire, 1928 through 1940. Sunk by German bombers in 1940 off St. Maizer. About 4,000 to 7,000 people lost their lives. RMS Titanic, 1912. Largest ship in 1912. Struck an iceberg on her maiden voyage and sank in April 1912. About 1,517 people lost their lives. SS Arctic, 1850 through 1854. By the way, the podcasts on this are so cool. You gotta watch them, probably. They're like sank in 1854 after a collision with the SS Maizer. Over 300 people lost their lives. SS La Bougonnie sank in 1898 after a collision with the Camargue. About 545 people lost their lives. Dang. RMS Impressive Ireland. Sank in 1914 after a collision with the Storstad. About 1,012 people lost their lives. RMS Impressive Britain, 1931 through 1940. Sank in 1940 after being struck by 3 bombs and 2 torpedoes. Oh my! About 45 people. That's barely any from how many people got, from how much happened to the boat. HMS Britannia sank in November 1916 after striking a mine in the Aegean Sea. About 30 people lost their lives. Britannia was the largest ship lost during World War I. SS Kingston and Hampton Cross. Largest ship 1897 through 1899. Blue Ribbon holder 1897. Sunk by the HMS High Flyer in 1907 off the coast of Ireland. A British soldier died, but the German casualties remain unknown. That's it. SS Angel Bullion, sank in 1956 after a collision with the MS Suffolk. A total of 51 lives were lost in the collision and sinking. MS Carpathia, 1903 through 1918. It sank in 1918 after being struck by 3 torpedoes and 3 SMUs. About 5 people lost their lives. Dang, that's not that much. MS Queen Elizabeth, 1940 through 1972. Largest liner, 1946 through 1972. Fake caught fire and sank in 1972. Yep. It's believed that QE was the victim of arson. This is called D7. I'm gonna. No, I gotta see something. Okay, guys, I'm gonna search up how many people died and how many German casualties died in the sinking of the. There are results for how many soldiers died in the sinking of the Kaiser Wilhelm der Grosse. Based on available accounts, casualties of German crew during the sinking of the Kaiser Wilhelm der Grosse on August 26 of 1914 were minimal too. One source indicating 2 crew members were killed during the battle before the ship was scuttled. The crew largely survived, but abandoning the ship in the shallow water and escaping to shore. Oh my. So it still doesn't say how many people died. Oh my goodness, okay. No, we already did this one. Ownership. Which one is this? SS County D. Salvio. Fake bombed and scuttled by the Germans in September of 1943. The wreck was raised and scrapped in 1950. SS Waterloo in 19... and SS Levisson. Larger ship through 1914 and 1922. It scrapped in 1938 and 1938 through 1946. SS America 1940 through 1994. Fate wrecks in the Canary Islands in 1994. The wreck has been degrading ever since. I don't know how to say that word. Turkey. Fate caught fire on January 3rd of 1933. The ship was beyond economic repairs and was scrapped. SS Justica, 1917 through 1918. Fate struck by 4 torpedoes in 1918. About 10 to 16 people lost their lives. That's not that much compared to how many torpedoes were hit. It says Great Eastern, 1858 through 1880. On a ship till it was scrapped. Dang. SS Imperator and Ernest Beggar. Largest ship in 19 scrapped in 1939 through 1946. SS Bremen 1929 and 1941. Blue Ribbon Holders from 1929 and 1939. Face Sunfire in 1941, scrapped by 1946. RMS Celtic 1901 through 1928. Larger ships through 1901 and 1903. Fate ran aground off Cabo and she was scrapped on site by 1933. RMS Hornary 1922 through 1936. Fate scrapped. That was barely any time that they even got. SS Liberty and Europea. Blue Ribbon Holders in 1930 and 1933. Fate scrapped in 1963 through 1964. SS Paris 1921 through 1939. Fate caught fire and capsized in 1939, scrapped by 1947. It took them 8 years to scrap the boat. Thanks for watching. And by the way, guys, like, subscribe, and and comment if you want me to on what stuff you might also want me to do.